Alright there guys, so there's going to be a new LP of Dark Souls 2 starting relatively soon. However, before we do that, we need to work out what we're going to do. Now, there are obviously a few classes here which generally dictate what kind of class you're going to be starting out as, similar to Dark Souls 1, whereas the Warrior, fairly obvious sword and board. The Knight is just without a shield, but with a big burly weapon to start with. The Warrior starts with a broken sword, which is a bit useless, we have to replace that pretty quickly. The Swordsman, dual wielder, this is a bit of one of the new classes, not something I've personally tried. The Bandit, again, no shield, heavy axe, heavy armour, not great starting stats to be honest, but not bad. High faith, always useful. Even higher faith would be the Cleric, this very silly coat they've got on, looks alright, but the Sorcerer, pretty standard. Caster, from what I've played, Dark Souls 2 Sorcerer is a lot easier than it is doing a melee build. I'm doing a Sorcerer run myself actually. I find it not quite as difficult, just put it that way. Explorer, well, it starts with a load of items, but generally just random sort of build with a dagger, or yeah, a short dagger there. Again, would build into a melee class of sorts. Deprived starts with absolutely zippo and no barely any stats at level 1. So that's obviously the clean slate. But I'm more interested in what you guys want to see. Do you want to see the sword and board? Do you want to see the burly guy? Do you want to see the dual wielder? You know, sort of all the caster classes, which would be the cleric or the sorcerer. Or do you want to see deprived? And we'll just go from there. And if you do want to see deprived, let me know where you want the deprived to go. Do you want it to be a melee deprived, a ranged deprived? You know, we'll go from there. So, some general tips. The sword and board class is fairly decent early game, gets a bit stuck some of the later stuff because it doesn't have the range. The Sorcerer is relatively easy in terms of like some of the range fights, but has the lack of like defensive stats can get you a bit stuck as well. So, I mean, ordinarily you'd build sort of a mixture, someone who can do some range stuff with like a bow or something. But hey, up to you. Alternatively, if you want, we can just do a reprise of the Kiko character from the first game, Lady Kikoskia, which was the dexterity weapon build with the sort of very quick scimitar style weapons. So yeah, just let me know really what you fancy and what you want to see. Shouldn't be too hard. Stick your votes in the video. I will do the usual tallying as usual, and the actual LP will probably start sometime next week. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it. Let me know what you want to see. Alright, cheers guys.